They trained John Wick, they raised a legend. Now, they've unleashed Eve. If you thought the John Wick saga ended with Chapter 4, think again. Ballerina isn't just a spin-off, it's a deadly ballet set between two of the most violent acts in Wick's story. And yes, he's in it, alive.
She sent you here to kill me?
But not exactly well. Set between John Wick 3 and John Wick 4, Ballerina follows Eve, played by Ana de Armas, an orphan trained in the same brutal institution that forged Wick. Raised by the Ruska Roma, Eve is part dancer, part assassin, and 100% vengeance. We first saw this world in Chapter 3, when John returned to the Belarusian training ground. Remember the ballerinas stretching, the boys training in judo? Turns out, they weren't prepping for a recital. They were preparing for war. Eve's mission? Personal, bloody, and dangerous enough to make the high table tremble. To understand Eve, you need to understand him. Jardani Jovanovic, aka John Wick, wasn't just a hitman. He was the one you send to kill the boogeyman. He earned his freedom with an impossible task, buried his weapons in concrete, and tried to live a quiet life, until they killed his dog and stole his car. What followed? 4 films of mythic ultra-violence. But between Chapter 3 and 4, John vanishes. Wounded, excommunicated, on the run. That's when Ballerina happens. Eve isn't cleaning up his mess, she's fighting her own war. But when John steps in, ordered or not, the two worlds collide. Let's talk about institutions. The Continental Every Assassin Sanctuary is a gilded prison ruled by one law: no blood on the grounds. Unless you're John, unless you're desperate. Each hotel is run by a manager loyal to the High Table, a secret council of 12 shadow rulers. They control governments, police, justice, they own the markers, they decide who lives and who dies. Eve walks through that world with a target on her back. Winston brings her to New York just like he did with John. But his motives? Questionable. Is he a mentor, or is Eve just the next weapon in his arsenal? And yes, Sharon is back too. Loyal, subtle, deadly. This is Lance Reddick's final performance, and a farewell worthy of the Wick universe. At the core of it all is the director, played by Angelica Houston. She raised Eve, she trained John, she deals in pain and teaches discipline through dance. In Chapter 3, she branded John's back. Now she commands Eve with the same cold efficiency. But Eve is not John. She doesn't want out. She wants answers. The deaths of her parents trace back to the High Table, or someone working for them. In the trailer, we see Eve's training. Pirouettes into takedowns, twirls into kills. She's faster than John, more agile. But still learning the most important lesson: how to survive. When they send John after her, it's not just fan service, it's philosophy versus fire. Mercy versus mayhem. Ballerina was first pitched in 2017, then it vanished into development hell. Rumors said the movie was falling apart, that Chad Stahelski had to reshoot everything. But Stahelski says otherwise. They just polished a few scenes, added shine, tweaked the action. Ian McShane, though, he said it straight. It's not reshoots, it's new shoots. So who's telling the truth? Honestly, it doesn't matter. What we're getting is the best version possible. The version the Wick franchise deserves. Ballerina is not a side story. It's an essential thread in the fabric of the John Wick universe. A narrative that reveals what the shadows concealed between Chapters 3 and 4. Eve isn't a reflection of Wick. She's a consequence of the world that created him. Her path is forged not by legend, but by necessity. And this time, the reckoning is hers. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who is Eve truly after, and what truths lie buried beneath her mission?